We are the new life and new face of the Chamber, sort of reconnecting with those younger businesses, sharing ideas with each other, learning from those who are more experienced in both business and community affairs. And I'm just so happy to have you guys all here. We are in this beautiful venue. This is Blown Away Beauty Bar. Miss Whitney, this is her place, so thank you. We have some amazing raffle prizes that are listed on the board over there. It is my pleasure to introduce you're the mentorship and education coordinator of the group, Mr. No question there. Rick DiCarlo, and he'll be introducing our guest speaker.
All right, thank you. I just want to take a minute to introduce Mr. Robert Ming. First, I want to thank him for taking the time to come out here to our event tonight, so thank you very much. So Robert Ming was born and raised in Southern California, went to school here and worked here for pretty much his entire life.
So the first thing that I was thinking about as I was thinking about this whole thing that I wanted to share with you is I've been on this road, and the most interesting thing about this whole campaign has been meeting all these wonderful people. And when you meet people that you haven't met before, and like these kind of gatherings when you get to do these kind of things, you probably already know this, but you can either meet people and build relationships that are going to last you a lifetime, or you can turn and burn people. And I hate to say it that way, but I've known people in business before who will just churn clients because they can. And they'll go find somebody else, and they'll do another marketing campaign, and they'll grab somebody else in the door, and they'll put somebody else through their thing, and they'll make a little money off it, and they'll let them go. And that's not the way to live life. And so it may be a little harder, and it may take longer to invest in people, like what you're doing now. But from my experience, those relationships come back, and that's one of the things that I've been so touched by in this whole campaign, is watching people that I've known from the Chamber and from other places coming out of the woodwork to help. I mean, I just looked at Mark right when I said that. And Mark has come out of the woodwork to help. But there's so many that have given so much, and I'm so thankful to all them for what they've done that it's really almost overwhelming just to think about. But you do the same thing, because as you go out in business and as you meet people, when you treat them with respect and you actually listen to them, not just like say hi and let them walk away, but you actually hear what they say and care a little, people feel that. And those friendships, those relationships build. And so I do think that this is a great place to be, the city. I mean, I've gotten to know the city really well. There's a lot of really good people here. Some people here for a very long time, some newer people. But if you are willing to invest in those people, it will pay long-term dividends. So it's definitely worth doing. It's, like I said, sometimes harder, sometimes takes longer, sometimes a little more difficult, but always worth doing.
So sometimes in business, you can have competitive businesses that are they're not very nice about maybe your business, and so when you're in a competitive climate like that, sometimes when they're saying maybe not the nicest things, that's really loud, and it's really easy for a lot of people to listen to that. And so as someone who sort of would like to run my business in without that negativity. How do you like clash the drums louder without the negativity?
I've never heard of that. Especially not in politics. That never happens. Really? It's so amazing. Yeah, so great question. And I don't have a really good answer for you, but I'll tell you the one that I have to live with. You got to tell the truth. And sometimes the truth about your competitor hurts, but it's the truth. And if you tell the truth, then people can't come back and slam you for telling the truth, because you're telling the truth. So tell the truth, and then you can sleep at night. And if you don't, then you end up making stuff up, and you end up getting on a road that leads to someplace where you're spinning stories, and those stories are not true. And it's hard to live with that. So don't sell your soul, and that's what happens. If you try to get in that game, that war, where you're just going to spin stuff and come back out, it doesn't always work.
With who you are, like what you're saying, being honest and and showing yourself to your clients and being so good to them is going to make a difference. So that difference is how you represent your little business.
You started being a lawyer, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
The real job.
what was your biggest insecurity going into it, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah. Biggest insecurity was not knowing absolutely anything about what I was doing. Yeah, because that's what happens when you walk out of law school. Law school is really good head knowledge and really bad practical knowledge, and you get thrown into a law firm and they're like, write me write us for a letter on this, or write a whatever they ask you to do, and you're like, huh? And you don't have any idea what you're talking about. So you go and find a form document, you start reading it, and the first time you hand it to a partner, he just bleeds all over it, like his pen couldn't run out of ink before you wrote, and then you learn, and so that was very unnerving the first time it happened. And then after a while, you realize what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish and how to say it better, and so you get better at it. And now it's old hat. Now it's been doing that, been there, done that, and so that experience is really. By the way, if you ever have to hire a lawyer, if anybody, don't hire a lawyer if you can avoid it. Okay, just saying. But if you have to, what you want is someone who's done what you're doing a lot of times before. Okay, because you learn stuff and you do stuff faster and better and easier, and you don't want to pay for the learning curve for the guy, okay, because definitely somebody pays for that learning curve. So find the guy who knows what they're doing, and the associate that's working with him will learn under him, but find the guy who knows what they're doing, or woman who knows what they're doing, and you'll be much better off. And so that was the biggest insecurity. It was just, you just got to do it. You just got to go out there and be wrong, and it's okay. You'll figure it out, and somebody will help teach you how to do it right, and then you'll do it right. But that was bad. Yeah. First couple ones were really bad. Yeah.
So I was wondering, who is it in your life that was sort of like your biggest mentor, or someone that you feel like, whether it was in this campaign or in law school or something, that you feel like was that person that showed you?
Oh no! I know, look at that. Somebody's playing happy music. That my time is up? Is that what that is? Your phone?
Yeah, I can't touch it. Go ahead.
Okay. The guy with the camera's got a phone problem. $5. Okay, that's right. Yeah. I'm always doing campaign contributions for the chamber. For $5 for the chamber. So when the camera shakes, it's a good sign he's laughing. Okay, yeah, that's good. Mentor, right? Can I have another one? No. Mentor. So two. One was a high school professor who got me interested first time in politics and learning to love that. And the second one was a law school professor who got me interested in securities law, which is what I do. I work at a securities firm, and she was just fired up about business law and little teeny, 78 pounds wet. I don't know what she was, but she's tiny little, and she just ran around the classroom like she had so much energy, it was crazy. Former SEC enforcement agent, and she was just awesome. Yeah, and so she got me into that, and those two were probably two. And then musically, Dr. Gary Bonner. Spent a lot of time working with him in nonprofits and singing for him and playing piano for him, and taught me a lot about life, and that was important. And music actually has a lot to do with life. Yeah. And it's about timing, and it's about order, and it's about climaxes and finishes, and how you end well and finish well. So it's good.
Thank you so much for coming out today. Big round of applause. From the chamber and from Sway, we figured you and your wife could have some nice romantic time together.
Yes.
So we got you
That'd be great.
a bottle of wine from
Thank
the
you.
chamber.
Wonderful.
We got you a box of chocolates.
Oh, good.
And we know you love dancing, and at Sway,
Hey,
dancing. So
that's
we got
awesome.
you 3 private lessons.
Thank
so
you.
you can spend time with your wife.
Great.